Welcome, lovers.
Everybody.
Yes,
Woo-hoo.
yes, welcome back to the Cosmic Chicks podcast.
Oh yeah.
Woo-hoo, holiday season edition. Welcome. So, my name is Heather Lynn with Daily Heart Alchemy and my co hostess of the mostest.
Yes. I am I go by Sam from Higher Self Healing Energy.
Wonderful, Sam. Wonderful. So, holiday season. How do you feel about the holidays? Are they easy for you to handle, or is there some more grounding effort that you need to do during the season being a psychic intuitive?
I would say for myself, as I have gotten older, it has gotten easier. And the reason I'm saying that it's got easier because hey, I love my family, but it's just my husband, myself, and my children. So I don't have to worry about who doesn't like who's not going to be in the same room, somebody else. It's definitely gotten a lot easier, more beautiful, and hey, it's about me and my kids and my husband, and we come first. So back at you, Heather. What about you?
Growing up was a little bit chaotic, so some of that chaos still carries forward into the holiday season. Um, which is okay. I love my family. I love all aspects of it. I love spending time with family. But with me being with my Pisces moon, I have to be real careful not to absorb. We've talked about this. I've worked really hard about keeping my vessel protected and sealed, which we're going to talk a little bit more about tonight. But before I knew what was going on, I would walk into the room, and with my Cancer rising, not only would I feel everyone's feelings, but I would also want to merge with the environment, which means if there's heat, I wanted to get heated. So, which was not good.
I'm pouring
Being,
working with the water spirits right now. We're pouring water on you.
yes, while with being a double, with having double water in my three, within my top three, I feel everything. And so, being an empath, having an escape plan at one moment in time was crucial. So, and being able to navigate the holidays and the energy really felt like a battlefield because when I left, I was drained and I didn't know why. I know why now. Looking back, I'm like, oh,
Uh,
I was supposed to bear witness, and not observe.
yeah.
So, that's a little bit about my holidays. Um, but we're going to discuss tonight how we can use our psychic gifts as our superpower at each and every gathering. So, yes, you've been able to maintain some of the energies, which is nice. But if you're traveling into other spaces,
Yeah.
it's always good knowing what our superpowers are and how to utilize them.
And and
So,
we both have been in situations with our family where it's felt very draining, very toxic, right? And
yes,
Heather and
yes.
I wanted to bring up this topic because you're hearing that more because people are feeling that energy to connect with their family, and they do.
Mhm.
They have um, situations or relationships with people that are unhealed, then these come to the surface when you
Okay.
guys are about to spend time to be love and light, and it ain't always love and light.
No. Well, so what I would like to just kind of make note of, and as you were saying that, it kind of hit me. It's all about it. This episode is going to hit you right in the solar plexus because it's about the power of give and take. And um, so it really, this episode really, taps into that emotional center. And the holidays really has a lot to do with the solar plexus energy and the vitality. Because if you think about it on an energetic level, or like we're in the middle of winter, so energetically we feel the opposite of the sun. Which could, lead you into the emotional blues. Or if you're solar plexus or you're in the right, and you're in your container,
So
you're
what?
able to see that positive side of it
Yeah.
and
And why
stay in your
that
power.
my eyes are showing me like where you're when you're saying how like we're feeling, it's like hibernation in a bear. And what does a bear do, right? For hibernation, it typically goes into a cave, right? It goes within itself. So while we're going within ourselves, we're feeling all those juices that we, if you're avoiding, that are coming up for the family. It's like you never really liked me and now we got to spend time together, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. And yes, we have a guest. Amanda, did you want to come online, sweets, and join us? Or do you just want to stay behind the scenes? Just raise your hand if you want to. You look beautiful. Did you want to bring on Amanda? Yeah.
Yeah,
To
let's
join
bring
us? Wonderful. All right. Bringing it to the stage, love.
it. Yay.
Yay.
Hi
Hello.
Amanda, welcome.
Yes. Well, this is the Cosmic Chicks podcast. And welcome, Miss Amanda. We're going to go ahead and let you
Yeah.
introduce yourself and what your beautiful gifts are tonight.
Okay, my name is Amanda Sershin. I started my journey by learning Reiki, and I learned Reiki in order to heal myself, to get to know my own emotional state, and to know what I was feeling, because I never knew. I always shoved my feelings down because I was taught to do that. So it took Reiki for me to really break in to start to heal myself. And then I learned beyond quantum healing, hypnotherapy. So that was a beautiful part of my path of just exploring new things. And I now do massage, medical massage, and but I think my favorite is Reiki, because Reiki has just opened me up to magic being real, and
Yes.
just the
Absolutely.
fact that we can all heal each other with our hands, with our thoughts, with our intentions. And I've seen so much magic happen with Reiki and in groups of people doing Reiki together, and so much healing has come from it. So that's my journey with
Yes.
healing art.
Yes.
It,
Well,
yeah.
thank you so much for joining us. Well, today we're talking about being empaths and how to handle it during the holidays, without, that feeling like you've just left the holiday party feeling hollow, not only just tired, but energetically siphoned.
Yes.
Like you just ran a marathon through a haunted house of everyone's emotions, like, rah! So we're learning how to not do that tonight.
Yes.
So, and that feeling is actually meaning that your system is drained or is being overstimulated. And this can lead to irritable feelings, which is the first sign that you're not broken or you're too sensitive, but you're going to start getting feedback from your environment that things are, your energy is being penetrated. So what are your guys's Amanda, what are some of the things that you experienced during Christmas with some of your family? How are the holidays in your home?
I think that they've always been really beautiful. On the outside, it definitely brings up some of that. I don't have children, so I don't really have to worry about the whole, telling your children something that isn't true about Christmas. I've had conversations with people about that who do have children,
Mm-hmm.
and their answer is that they want their children to believe in magic. And that's why they want to tell them that Santa is real. And
Yes.
it would just be nice if we could teach children to believe in magic in all different ways,
Yeah.
and not just
Absolutely.
with this lie that is passed down. I am happy that it is centered around Christ, because I think we need more of that energy in our communities. And just figuring out how to do that more throughout the year, and to not have it just centered around one day and consumerism, is definitely important for me. And I think the older I get, Christmas just feels more and more strange and very like matrixy with
Mm-hmm.
the consumerism and with all of that. And I see through that now. So it's very strange to me, but I definitely try to embrace, the family stuff, and just see the kids having fun with it. And thankfully, I'm not a parent, so I don't have to make that decision.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
tapping into your gifts, I'm kind of like, about Santa and all that. You know what I mean? If it brings joy, and it is you, even adults being imagining Santa, right? That is how you tap into your gifts. Is using your
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
so
that's why we're all here, is because we're all psychic intuitive healers. And when we all can see, feel, sense, hear, touch energy, um, the why you're not crazy when you're going to your families for the holiday is because you're clairsentient. Let's name it. Let's name the weight that you feel. It isn't just the holiday stress. You're picking up on everything.
that is
Um, yeah, like the unspoken tension between your aunt and your mom, or your
correct.
uncle and your mom, or you and your
Or
mom.
in my family, it's like so and so's not talking to so and so, so it's like the white elephant in the room, and everybody can feel it, right? But nobody's right, and it's completely awkward. And then certain family members don't talk to certain family members, and it's just like it's completely draining if you do not know how to shield and protect and ground yourself, when you are so psychic and so sensitive. But now, when you are developing your psychic gifts, especially for me, honey, I'm like a cat on a cat porch. Nothing bothers me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a
I'm getting
cat
that
on a
way.
cat.
It took a while. It took a while
Yes,
because
getting
and
there.
then first it started doing with I had to retrain the subconscious, because it's layers, because it's like an onion. Each layer involves a new different type of healing. And I love, Amanda, how you came in and you were talking about your evolution of how you learn different modalities. And that's how I actually started too. I started off with yoga, or actually QHHT, got certified in Ayurvedic nutrition, then yoga. Then I created my own modality. I did a smurge of QHHT and BQH so I can do it online. So I created my own script and my own process. Um, but I started Reiki initially, but I only did it on myself, for the first several years, because I was just learning, and it's amazing how far it's evolved
Right.
into. It was preparing us. Let's be honest.
Yes,
We were
yeah,
being prepared.
Mhm.
Yeah.
you are trusting the process, right? Because you gotta believe before you see, right? So,
Well, that gets me in trouble, Samantha. That
oh,
gets
well,
me
that's
in
where the
trouble
fun
being
and
a
magic
physical
is.
healer.
That is where the fun and magic is believing before you
Well, I
see.
know, I had the belittling belief that in order to believe it, I had to see it, and that got me in trouble. So they's like, no, you have to. And I guess I was thinking in 3D terms. I could, not
Yeah.
in my psychic vision.
So
There's
that's
two.
probably why with your gifts that you did more of like yoga and the physical, until you got more evidence and proof for yourself, right?
Well, I had to purge all that fire energy, all the anger, because mine was repressed anger. Because with me being a double water sign, by the time I realized what was going on, I was filled up with everyone's energy because I was an insurance agent, and then we had a claim. So that's really what took me over the edge. I had like 300 people projecting energy at me at once, and I'm just like, so, and then after that, my soul was like, no more. And like, I've not allowed it ever since. But that's what started my awakening, though, was once I was on psychic overload, and they was like, you have to dump. And my guides paid for it. I mean, I was taken care of, honestly, financially for like 2 years, while they allowed me to just learn and just be myself. I mean, it was amazing, blessed. Thank you, guides. But the holidays were bad though, because my dad passed that year around the holidays. So, which is fine. You know, a lot of people, that seems to be a time for coming home for a lot of people. So, because of the stress, and if they're not aware of it, and they're also empaths, you know, it can go a lot of, you know, ways. But back to where we're at. So we can just feel everything, you know, the hidden anxiety about the finances, you know, the big thing, get the kids the best gifts and keep up with the Joneses. And there's a lot of stigma with this.
Yeah.
With the kids and the parents, and the forced cheer of your friends who are really actually grieving. You know, they're really trying to be strong, and they're trying to put on their game face. But if you're a psychic intuitive like us, and you're going through your awakening process, you know, these are things that you're going to experience, and you're, you know, as you seal your vessel, you're not going to feel a lot, but there are ways that even still you may get overstimulated. Because usually, like, let's be honest, life can happen and throw multiple things at you, and you need time to process.
That is correct.
And
yeah, because that's what happened to me. I just had too much happen all at once.
You guys are definitely most likely further along with me when it comes to the protection, and I'm still, the more psychic I get and more intuitive that I get, I'm having to pull myself away from people a bit, which I think is okay.
Normal. You go into hermit mode. And remember, we had that talk. So you're going through a psychic cleaning right now, the same process that I did, because your sun sign is water. So you're going through a psychic purge too. And that's in some of our discussions that we've talked about, some of your dream visions and stuff. That is all your psychic, your higher self reorganizing and compartmentalizing and processing what you're learning and your past simultaneously. So it's showing you psychically through your dreams, though, so that you know.
And what my guys are saying right now, Heather, is also, because we can, all three of us recognize that when that happened to me, my guy said, is to pull you away so those energies can integrate.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like being pulled, like a magnet, pulled away.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing to me right now, pulling
2
you
years.
away. So
2 years.
Yeah. And think about it, like right now, it's winter, right? The snow's out. It's perfect for being in still mode, right? Mm-hmm. And hermit mode, right? So why we are manifesting our future selves.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right? And reserving those energies for our next mission.
Yes. And soon we're going to break down the science and the spirituality of energy absorption, because Amanda, this might be good for you. And because as you're learning, it's completely normal. I had 2 years of isolation after my all-state agency. Like my guides gave me 2 years of complete isolation, and it's actually been 5. and they send me into taken care of. I'm going to call it financially supported um, hiatus status because I'm a Virgo. So I go into my hermit mode naturally, but I'm always taken care of on the, during the process and afterwards. So just trust the process, but know when you're being called away to isolate, it's for a reason. You've taken on too much.
You're becoming a new version of yourself, and you're seeing you're seeing the veil, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing the veil. So you're like, okay, I'm not this version of myself that I thought I was.
And it just
right?
weirder.
What did you say?
Weirder and weirder the more that you come out from it. You start to look at things around you and you
Yep.
start to just be like, none of this feels right. And so it makes it more okay to come back in. And then, we just have this different reality is just different once you
It
are
is.
more, you sense things more, and it's a
Mhm.
beautiful, but it's also, the idea of things not feeling right, and I'm sure that's happening for a lot of people right now, is that it just feels off.
It
Everything.
does because, Amanda, what we're seeing right now is the alchemical process of the energy from our ancestors that we're purging. So it's kind of like we have to bear witness to that in the collective as we're seeing it right now. And we're
Yeah.
all alchemizing it real time versus reacting before. That's why we're bearing witness, I think, this time. And ignorance is not bliss, because the one thing that I used to be a people pleaser, and it got me in a lot of trouble because even though I would try to make peace, whatever I was trying to correct or say something about later on was the exact thing that caused the collapse. So truth and transparency is what we're seeing, and we're just not used to it. And
We're
it's
adjusting,
new.
we're adjusting and becoming comfortable seeing out of our third eye.
Yes, from
Where
our
we
ego.
weren't. So now we're like used with these third eye, with your psychic energies, it is a new version of you, but you are learning with these wisdoms that you haven't seen with your third eye. I remember when I woke up, when there was time when I seen these heightened, I could see these heightened colors that I've never saw in the 3D out of my third eye. And I would just be like, whoa, incredible. I definitely was on a higher dimension to experience and see these
Mhm.
colors on birds and trees that I've never seen before on a third, the
It's
3D
vibrant.
reality.
Yes, yes. The clarity and the definition is completely different. It's
Yes.
different. It's
You're
like
also,
hypercolor.
you're also talking about pulling the veil, right? Because we're pulling the,
Mhm.
what I can
Yep.
describe that what you're saying is when I used to be on opiates and then I got sober. And so
Mhm.
I got those opiates out of my system. I went outside and I looked at a bee and I just hewed it. I went closer to it. And it was like I had never seen one before because I had only seen one with these substances in my body. So
Mhm.
the idea of the veil for me is that the more that we pull that away and using those substances put more of a veil on me and
Yes.
got them out of my system. So what we're doing is we're cleansing out our system. We're getting rid of all these old narratives. We're healing all this different stuff, even from different timelines. And then we're seeing more of a deeper resolution or a brighter resolution by
Yes.
veil.
Yeah. Yes. And I'm going to be honest. An unintegrated empath or psychic intuitive, it can, it does feel like you're going bonkers
It
for a
can.
period of time. I mean, it does, because like for me, because I was seeing multi dimensions. So when I was going through it, I was seeing 10 different timelines, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then the realities would manifest in the 3D. Well, you think it, you create it, if you think about it that way. And it was just, but I was dealing with the ancestral aspect because of the timing, the great awakening and the great purge. So that's what we're bearing witness to, and why we're able to be, let's be honest, I think this is the first time in history we've actually been able to talk about our psychic gifts as women. And
So open. Yes.
yes, without being,
Well, and we're
you know,
also bringing that divine feminine energy right back it
yes,
up. Yeah.
yes, yes,
Giving and as loving and as kind. So why we, those that are on there, that those that are awakened and feeling the call of spirit, when you do have to integrate and get with your family members in the holidays, right? You know how to protect yourself. You know that
yeah,
you still have strong boundaries, but you can still be loving and kind to plant those seeds to encourage them, their souls, to learn from you to be loving and kind with strong boundaries, but you're protected.
yes. And that's what we're all learning, is that, you know, it's boundaries with discernment. Like, I love you, I see you, but what is yours and mine is mine. And it's no longer my and my field to feel obligated to carry your laundry as well as mine. Because with you being a water sign, you take on others. Like for me, I my design, if you're not careful, it will naturally just start carrying everyone's dirty laundry. Like with my loved ones only. Okay. It's not just with everyone. Like, I have good boundaries with everyone else, but like with my immediate family, like my daughter and stuff like that, like I would overgive and stuff like that. So for me, I would always feel their energy during the holidays and like, oh, I gotta be the best. All right, so we're going to talk about how to shield yourself. So the next, which is awesome, this is real time practice. So when you walk in, you're going to visualize an egg shield, and this is your pre-game ritual. And we're going to forget complicated visualizations. We're going to do a practical visualization that Samantha is going to guide us through. And this is going to be something that you can take with you when you're going to these parties, especially, let's say, a work party. Because let's be honest, work parties is when this really comes into play, because everyone's wearing masks. And then with us being truth speakers and truth seers, you can see all the people that are trying to keep up with the Joneses. You could see the one that's competitive. You could see the one that's trying to rub shoulders with the boss. You can see all of their intentions. And because most of us are investigators, you know, we know who's talking about what. And so if you're unaware that you're an intuitive, you could walk into a work party and just take on everyone's laundry unknowingly. So Samantha's going to walk you through a ritual to help build your psychic vessel up so that you can start building proper protection, because it starts with, Samantha, would you not agree? Psychic can, you're building your shield. Is that where you kind of started with, was shielding first?
It's not what I started first, but something that I have learned over time.
And that was my last thing I learned, was shielding. So, because I had no idea I could absorb people's energy. I had no clue.
Let me feel everything so I know what it feels like to know how to protect it.
I think my soul signed up for that.
I was a spiritual guinea pig. That's how I felt like, but I got a lot of wisdom out of it.
So, you know what? I think we did sign up for that, because my soul's like, yeah, that's exactly what you signed up for. Like, you're like, I came to to have as much fun, you know, and we get that through awakening and, growth.
Well,
How can you feel it and go through it?
I told you I got that card that said have fun, because I think
Yeah.
so spiritual and connect to our spirit. Sometimes we think that's all we have to do. Hold that card, have fun. It's like, oh yeah, man, you having fun,
Have fun, but protect yourself.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
You definitely don't want to go any place without not having a protection shield. So Samantha's going to walk us through this shielding ritual.
Yes. So I'm gonna use my pyramid to heighten the energies in our sacred portal in this live cosmic chick podcast. So I want everybody take a slow, deep breath. Be aware of your breath from the bottom of your stomach. That we gotta move that energy, okay?
Mm.
And the intention is like what Heather said, is visualizing, feeling, sensing, and knowing that you have this high vibrational source power energy that is a sacred circle around you. My guys are just showing me something. They're saying like when you do that, we become a portal. That's what my guides are telling me right now. And that it's like we become this star in the galaxy. That's what they're showing me right now. So you're this precious star that needs to be protected. Okay. So I'm gonna just do a little bit of guiding energy with some sound frequency, and visualize yourself as this beautiful, powerful, loving shield of a light, because you are meant to shine bright, okay? But being protected, shine bright. Take a slow, deep breath from the bottom of your stomach and let it out. Let's do that 2 more times. Giving yourself permission to be in the present. And my guys are saying, visualize a star in the galaxy. Like you're outside on the night, and you kind of see a star. It's kind of like not very bright, but you put your attention, you put your awareness, and you're connecting with this star perfectly. And then with every breath that you breathe in, slowly breathing it out, you psychically see that star getting brighter and brighter. It's illuminating. It's radiating. You feel its warmth. You feel its love and joy. And as this is illuminating, you feel its strength, its power. Now, put your awareness of the halo around that beautiful star. That is your protective energy force. That is a sealed barrier of protection that cannot be penetrated. That its light cannot be dimmed. Now, feel that sacred energy around you, this beautiful star that shines. Feel how you are this magnificent portal, beautiful portal that shines so bright, that is loved and protected and has nothing to fear. Feel how your body has softened and that you're pulling this energetic silver cord back into your physical body as your mental, your emotional, and your etheric body is coming back into your physical body. You are safe, loved, protected, and grounded. Gently wiggle your toes, your fingers, flutter your eyes as you're integrating back into your physical body, fully illuminated and with your protected energy field. How do you ladies feel that?
Vibrating, ding ding.
Bam!
I did want to
That
say
feels so
something.
good. Yes.
No, honestly, it was. So, thank you guys about the halo, because I think that was a great interpretation of the crown chakra and our own seal of authority,
Absolutely.
and a good representation of what an awakened angelic being is, and that we are all that.
Yes.
So I really love that you explained what the halo is, and that it's our sealed vessel that is aligned with all of our chakras, and our rainbow body and our etheric body is vibrating. I love that. So thank you so much.
That's what the guys channeled in. I was like, okay, here we go. And I thought it was beautiful too that they wanted us to visualize that we're stars, and
Yes.
that even when we're not shining bright, we have the power to illuminate it and make it brighter and brighter with our power and our magic.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then they brought the attention to go around the star as a halo that protects it. And I
Mm-hmm.
also thought it was very interesting that they said that we are portals, which we are.
Yes.
So I thought that was pretty incredible that the guides channeled that. So thank you, Spirit.
Yes. Yeah, and that's a good representation of the Christ consciousness and the true meaning of what the energy that we're talking about, and that we work with, because it's a frequency. It's kind of like a musical note. It's all loving, all knowing, and it's a frequency. And it was a wonderful representation. So thank you, Amanda. You had some feedback.
Resonates with something that came up in my head today talking about the crown. And I don't want to use this term as a term because I don't love the term heavy, but the term heavy, the head that wears the crown, came up in my head today, which is it's speaking on the crown that you just brought up. And I just wanted to say that I got that today. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, but it's also, we have more responsibility to take care of ourselves, to make our vessels be clean, to keep our mind from garbage and over sexuality, over explicit, scary things that are going to be in our consciousness, because we really are trying to be this clear vessel so that we can get this information. And so I just wanted to say that thought came up to me about wearing the crown, because that's what we're doing. We are these divine representations of source and of what we were sent here to be, and we're just humans trying to become that, and trying to become what we said we would be when we came. And sometimes that's a order.
We are that right now, though. I wanted to correct you. We are being that.
Yeah.
We are creating it in the
Yeah.
now.
And as well, so we're kind of merging these aspects of divine and human, and we're trying to do it fun, and we're looking good doing it, and we're, you know,
It's remembering our spiritual tools so we can be the light workers that are the boots on the ground. So we can show others the spiritual tools to protect them as well. And to validate people is very important. Like what you're experiencing, it is real. So
Yes.
having spiritual like my guys always say is like, you got your spiritual tools for your spiritual tool belt. You know, what spiritual tool happening? Oh, you got a tool, you got a wisdom from that. You know how to work with that, Sam. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Because, and we're also, and I love how a lot of it started off with Reiki and now we're all doing quantum healing, because that's where a lot of it stemmed from, because the Reiki teaches you the symbols, the lineage, and the language, and how I believe to kind of start tapping back into that Christ consciousness through your hand vessels and your energy centers through your hand portals and connecting it using the heart as the bridge to be a facilitator. Yes. So thank you so much. And that's a visualization that you can always visualize, that you're, that's your sacred shield that you can call on. And I recommend doing this before you go in to any parties or any energy that you might feel. I do it all the time, every morning before I go out. And I actually do a shield. I shield and ground a couple of times. Just because I'm around a lot of people some days, and the more people I'm around, I start, because with me absorbing, I can start hearing the child like, oh, it's not mine. But now I just go swoop and just clean it. So I've learned, like,
my guys, and thank you, Amanda, for bringing up the crown, because my guys are saying while we're talking is also making sure that you seal your crown. Right?
Yes.
That's a whole different topic. You have other energy.
Because that's stealing in your sovereignty.
You're not the highest good through the crown too. But
yes.
I like to seal mine up with love. Like,
yes, that makes sense.
Oh, I've been asking to be covered is a term that I was using, and I had heard of the cloak before. So cover me, I'll kind of say that as an intention. But I love to hear how you guys are sealing your crown and sealing your energy, because I'm a transmuter, so I'm going to take some of that energy to transmute it. So I feel that is part of what I do, is take it and transmute it. And I've also had people tell me that when I feel someone's stuff, it's a reading. So they're telling me this is just a reading. So learning to decipher those things has been interesting, but I'm definitely someone who transmutes energy. So sometimes I am
too.
It, and
yeah, most of us healers, we are transmuters.
We are. Yeah. But the thing is it's good. It's good until you get filled up, and then Samantha, go ahead, because we're a sponge. Once you're psychically full, you have to completely purge, and that sucks.
But yeah,
when you're 40, don't do that. Don't do that. That's what I did.
I like to
That's what I did.
A technique that I like to do if I'm because you just can't help it. We're transmuting and we're cleansing that energy, right? Being channeled, but we're not supposed to hold it. So visually, I will just visualize me giving that energy, me the channel, to Mother Earth, right? Because you got to give it back to nature.
That's what your golden gloves are too.
I'm around people and I'm starting to energy purge. I'm starting to burp and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I'm transmuting a lot of energy, but I'm not keeping this. I'll just visualize giving it to Mother Gaia.
So when you do that, did you stop burping as much?
Should have grounded the energy.
Yeah, but I gotta make sure that I'm not holding on to it and I'm grounding it into Mother Earth, right? Or I'll visualize dirt, or I'll visualize something nature and
Mhm.
grab that energy and letting it go.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to hold on to it. I'm just the channel that's
That's
helping you.
normal for the water.
Yep. Or water.
For
Right?
Scorpio and Cancer, that's what they do. We're like collector sponges, but we have to be very careful. That's not good for us.
Like
Pisces, on the other hand, they're like, "Not that's not mine, Bert." Swipe left,
Exactly.
swipe left,
I'm like,
swipe left.
yeah, I'm pretty, I am a Pisces. And I just want to say, like, family holidays, like, yeah, because I can read the room, I can feel all the energies, be kind and loving, but I'm like, it's not my crap, right? So I'm gonna keep it moving.
Well, and that's honestly what we're here to do now, though, because the old system was for us to transmute. But here's the deal: we're not here to transmute other people's stuff because the collective weight is being acknowledged right now. Once we go into 2026, it's not our light workers' responsibility. We're guides now. Like, we've actually graduated and elevated to the next level. And yes, we can show you empathy, but this is your weight, this is yours. And it's going to be difficult, but that's going to be something that that your guides will start working with. And reach out to Sam and I. We can definitely help you with that, because we've all went through it.
We're also opening our
The
throat
throat
chakras right now so much that
Yes.
we're going to be able to not really say how we feel, which is beautiful. But also, this is, for me, I think the throat chakra activations that have been coming at this time are interesting, that they're coming during the holiday seasons, because we're not necessarily going to be able to keep our mouth shut and still stand in our authenticity. And so that's going to bring us into our power, but it also may make a little bit more waves in your family and in what you're dealing with, if you're dealing with that, because it is so important to speak our power. And a lot of us as empaths have gotten used to just patting people on the back because we don't want to feel how they're feeling. So, just to speak your truth the best that you can, even during the holidays, if you're feeling something, and it'll work itself out, because those people need to hear it just like you need to speak it.
Yeah.
Yes. And just here's the thing. And the one thing I want to make note, because this is one thing that I'm struggling with. Speaking the truth for temporary uncomfortability is necessary right now, because the unspoken truth is the unbroken system that already failed that we're cleaning up. So authenticity has to be, even if I had to tell my sister the other day, because she keeps trying to bring the big C and do every conversation. And I'm like, what? You're working with word magic? I was like, and you've had it before. I was like, there's a lot of variations. I was like, you lost the right to ever tell me anything until it's proven, because I can't play into your. Some people use their handicap as a leverage. Yes, and I've known that for a while. And this year, because I would always cater to her, but this year I've just put my foot down and I'm like, that's not the truth. I was like, truth and clarity comes first, not fear. And that's what I told her when she told me that. I was like, until there's truth and clarity, we don't get to speak about it, because you're not going to rile anyone. It's just it's an unnecessary inflammatory situation, and it's word magic that doesn't need to be spoken.
Those are old tactics that she was able to use those energies on you.
In 08.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now
Well, that was the Capricorn. That was the Capricorn Pluto structure.
You are spiritually aware and you have insight and knowing, right? What she's doing. You're like, stopping you right there. That's what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, because I've asked my guys and stuff like that. I asked my guys because I went in. Yeah. So I went in and looked, and I was like, because I asked my guides, I was like, all right, is there any truth to it? They said that no, she has an infection in her lungs because she's been giving her power away for too long. It's a message for her to step into her power, and she's refusing to do so. She's putting her head in the sand. And they said that though at the rate she's going, if the word magic continues, it will manifest. But right now she's good. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I didn't feel bad for saying that, but I mean, I had to put my heart, because I was the one who took care of her when she had cancer before, and my guys are like, you can't take care of her this time, Heather. Things have changed and that's not your role. And I was like, so there's a lot of things that are coming up, but she's also cried wolf 3 Christmas seasons in a row. And it's like, there are people really struggling and that really are going through some serious issues, and scaring people is not very nice. And
No.
so I just kind of just left it at that.
That's a manipulation.
Yeah.
Manipulation.
Yeah. So basically when I deal with her, so what do I do when those situations happen? Because we're like, and I've done my past life regressions. I know who she is. I know our evolutions as souls, and I know why she's here today, where she's at. And it's a choice, and I just have to love, honor that.
So Heather, how does she interact at holiday times?
Yeah. So pretty much holiday time
with your sister.
Yeah. I go to the bathroom and reset.
Do you work with the water
Hang on
spirits?
1 second. Hang on. What about the water? I do water spirit. I basically just wash my hand in the water, and the water kind of like after I do a session and I'm releasing my golden gloves, I envision all the energy that's not mine just being rinsed and washed away. And then I put in my protection bubble again, because apparently with me absorbing Amanda, that's when I go back in and put that shield back up, amplify my light. And most of the time she'll wind up leaving right afterwards, because of the energy that I'm putting out can't be penetrated anymore. So when they lose that leverage, they get very upset. I'm just gonna like, they do the shape shifting, like, you set a boundary, you're not allowed doing that. Yes. And it's beautiful, because then I get to sit in this beautifully divine chaos of, and I'm like, I'm the Zen master in this, and this is not my storm, so I'm going to retreat. And but yeah,
as we're advancing in our spiritual and how to protect ourselves, I just love that I can flow in any room. Like, I could be my fish.
Yeah.
If it's stormy in here, I'm gonna flow. I'm just gonna be like nothing.
The reason why we would argue though, Samantha, was because that was the people pleaser in Heather, and I wouldn't tell her how it was. So I would try to keep the peace, and she would continue to get to act in the ways that weren't to her highest good, and got to continue down that trajectory, because no one basically was kind enough to be honest with her. Like, look, this behavior and what you're holding on to isn't helping you. And I've tried, but now I just literally just deal with her, put my higher shield on, and remind myself that I love her regardless of the circumstances. And as the 2 Earth shifts, we're going to have a lot of family members that we have to love their decisions and love them and give them grace where they're at. And she's just one of them. And I just have to rise above it and be in my ego mode, and just remind myself, like, I'm emotionally mature and I'm protected. So I don't really give too much into that anymore.
And when you become a higher frequency, when you become more aware, and you got those spiritual glasses on that you can't take off anymore, it is important that you address things from a loving kind place. Like, hey, I see what you're doing and I don't appreciate it. We can be very love and kind and grown, and it doesn't have to be a fight or an argument. But like, listen, like you're talking to a 3-year-old, right? And I don't mean that to diminish them. I'm saying, like, how would you talk to a 3-year-old with love, kindness, and patience,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I
And
see
that's what
what
I,
you're
that's what
doing.
I've done.
I appreciate it. I really love and care for you. How can we move forward in this relationship? Because I have boundaries that I don't appreciate you crossing, but I still want you in my life.
Yes. And that's
We
what
can
I've
do
done.
that
So, and I'm,
instead of
yeah.
ignoring, shoving stuff down. We're at it.
Yeah. Oh, I
This
don't
golden
shove stuff
age,
down no more.
talk to each other like this now, and it'd be
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing though, what I've realized too, though, is some people want to try to keep you in a dynamic that isn't even yours. And you have to love them for where they're at. So that's kind of where we're at. And I just give us love and I just don't entertain it anymore because I know where we're at energetically. And I've been working on our relationship in the etheric and I've been clearing a lot of it. So now it's more understanding. And I'm just like, I'm not doing this. And this is how it is. And I just don't explain anymore. And one day, maybe we'll be able to be really close sisters again. But I time will tell. I'm always there's always healing, and I believe in I love my family and I love my
I believe
sisters.
in
But
miracles, so I hear what you're saying, Heather.
yeah, yeah.
It's just
But I'm
that
also excited that she has to be accountable for some of her actions on her own. She's got her own work cut out for her right now that she needs to focus on. And I can't be a part of that because I would try to fix it for her and then I absorb her energy. So that's why I'm like, I can't do it. Like,
I
I love you, but I can't.
appreciate you saying something that I have talked about is that what Heather just said is that you can do some of this healing on your own and without needing that person present. And that's also what Sam has taught me a lot of my healing with my dad. We had a discussion about how to do some of that healing on my own
Mhm.
and to him because we're not always going to be able to get to that person's self as they are here. And
Mhm.
may have things we have to work through, and sometimes we can work with their higher self and we can ask
Yes.
Kate with
absolutely.
herself. And I think it's really important to recognize the quantum level that we can have of relationships, because then we don't feel so tethered to what's happening here and so out of control, and we just have
Yes.
our we're given these relationships to learn something and to grow within ourselves. So as long as we know that these relationships were given to us for our best growth, and to look at it in that way to where it's like, even I can have a conversation with my dad and I may be talking to him like he's a 3-year-old because I've grown so much and
Yeah.
Mhm.
so soft. And I was someone who everybody put all their stuff on and I'd take it because I was a child. And now I'm growing into someone who actually does speak my voice, which is very new for me. And, being able to know we can do that in a sense and just be our whole selves. And I love this conversation because it's like not allowing people to take from us. If your mom starts that conversation, you just put it up. I'm not here for this. And
Mhm.
on,
Yes.
instead of letting it all
Yes.
build in our
Yeah.
emotions.
And
Yeah.
while
And then
you
we'll
are,
jump.
mhm. I was
Go
gonna
ahead,
say,
Sam.
Amanda,
Go ahead.
thank you. I was saying, Amanda, why you are healing yourself, even though if you're a father or that family member is not um in the present for us to heal, we can send you can send yourself you can send healing through yourself to him because you guys are energetically uh,
Mhm.
attached.
That's what I do.
So you could be
Yeah,
healing
that's what I
yourself
did.
by putting your attention there and you're sending that to him as well. But healing yourself first is important.
That's
Yeah.
how I healed my father wound and my mother wound. Like I actually went into my mother's womb and had to experience what she felt. Because when I was born, I don't tell people this, but both of my feet or my feet were touching my shin. So it was like this bent backwards. And I was ungrounded. I absorbed all of my mom's instability at birth. So and that's when I realized that I was a psychic sponge. And so this is when psychic listening comes into play at your parties. So instead of absorbing my sister's emotions, because literally, if they're heated, I feel heated. If they were down, I would feel down. So, and with me being a 5-1, my soul would be like, because it always fights for coherence, stability. So I would always naturally, my design is always create balance because I'm a Virgo. Virgo is all about balance and order and stuff like that. So on a soul level, when there's disarray, I would automatically start trying to clear the air. So instead of absorbing it, um, we'll practice tuning into consciously to understand it using our psychic abilities, like I do with my sister. Going on to that eagle's eye, like, okay, now that I kind of understand where she's coming from, knowing that she's afraid, there's a lot of fear there. There's and trying to get, it helps me consciously understand her versus absorbing the energy. And that takes me from the sponge to the satellite. Because now I'm projecting a frequency, like I hear you, I see you, but my shadow's not going to absorb you, which means I can be this higher perspective of myself, of my highest version as a guide. And then give you the information without taking on your vibration. Now, how does this happen? Anchor objects, that ring you're wearing, the crystal in your pocket, these are all a part of something that's tangible, home base with your energy. So for me, always a purifying stone and a grounding stone. So Sam, what are your two top stones that you recommend for all psychics to keep their etheric field or their third eye protected and their solar plexus, because it's all about the mind and our power. Let's be honest, that's where this matrix works. It's all about controlling the mind and taking your power. So what are the two crystals that you wear?
My top crystal would be a clear quartz, because it clears and it amplifies any other crystals, right?
Yes.
And then another one that is selenite.
Okay. What about tourmaline? Would you wear tourmaline, or like what would you wear?
Anything that's a black obsidian, black tourmaline, onyx, right? Yeah, you definitely, we've learned this lesson, but we won't get into that. Yes, definitely having a grounding stone, especially when now that you got your spiritual, psychic glasses that you cannot turn back in. There's no turning back.
No.
We can't give the glasses back. You permanently have them now. Right? You're seeing the magical world, right? And everybody thinks you're Looney Tunes, but you're not. So anyway, yeah, you definitely want to wear a good grounding stone. Typically is black, but if you don't have a good grounding stone, call on its energy. Like, hey, I just don't have crystals. Call on black
field.
Yep. Call on, black tourmaline, right? But here's another spiritual hack. Visualize yourself as an anchor, a boat anchor, and that it is really anchored in the center of Mother Gaia, and that you are grounded and loved and protected.
Ooh, I see myself grounded in the storm with my anchor on as the energy around me is rocking my boat, and I'm like, no, I'm stable.
I mean, but you're not flying away. You're not swimming away.
No, I'm grounded. Anchored.
Yes, you're grounded.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
about having crystals is knowing how to use your spiritual power by calling on those energies into your energy field.
So that the crystal takes on that dense energy and not us.
Yes.
What did you say, Amanda?
Crystal is going to take that energy, whether it's imaginary or in our pocket, and we're not going to take on the energy, right?
Yeah.
The crystals work in your energy field with you. They are very high intelligent wisdom and entities, and they know exactly what to do even if you don't. So if you feel called to a crystal and you like, I don't know what the name is, I don't know how it's working with me, but I just like it, and that's your intuition, right? That crystal is sending out a frequency vibration, and you picked it up to work with it. It knows what to do, and you don't have to worry about it.
Even while we're having a conversation, I'm just going to speak on, maybe it's because the things we're talking about that I realize I may have to have conversations I don't want to have with, holidays and things and just being around people. I'm definitely feeling it in here in my
Lapis
throat.
lazuli. Lapis lazuli for the throat chakra.
Yeah.
And emerald or a green stone to bridge that shit through the heart. That way, any fire, it's going to come through the heart center before it's expressed. That way, it's going through the higher chambers because, yeah, you definitely.
Turquoise would be really good too because it works with the throat and the heart, and it calms the energy field down.
Which one?
Turquoise.
Turquoise.
Turquoise works with the heart and the throat.
I just had turquoise. Never have turquoise, but I did have that stone come up in my head. So that's
beautiful.
Yep.
That's a good one.
Yeah, because it will give you that calm and love and also work with your throat chakra.
Okay, now we're going to talk about what happens when we leave the party, right? And this is for people that are just learning how to protect themselves because a lot of people are going through the awakening as we speak. So we were kind of like the Marines that were called in, like, hey, you guys got to go through the trenches first. Because here we are. So that because all of us we're remembering. This is a remembrance for each and every one of us. So it was our duty to go through our own trials, tribulations, or our own lineage and our own Akashic lineage, so that we can help others because healing in the ethers is going to, ethereal healing is going to be the new type of healing because that's going to be, quantum healing is through all timelines and all lineages and all time and space because time and space doesn't really exist. It's just a construct that they keep us
in our spiritual bodies, not just our physical, but our spiritual bodies as well.
Yes. So the post-party purge. So the party's over, but the energy's still clinging. You got the clingers. Next thing you know, you're usually nice, calm, and collected. And then all of a sudden you feel, we're going to even go a little fun. You just feel like you want to eat a bunch of stuff because having excess sweets could be picking up on someone not feeling loved and nurtured. So they might be eating their emotions. Okay. So these are simple things, but I normally eat healthy. And all of a sudden I want to go home and eat a whole bag of chips and drink a bunch of pop. It's something as simple as that could cling. So it doesn't always have to be something heavy. It could be something simple, a habit, a thought, a mannerism. But the energy is still clinging to you. It's not yours, and we can't go to sleep like this. You definitely do not want to go to sleep anytime that you have been in an energetic space like that. Okay. So I'll share my non-negotiable 5-minute routine to sever cords, cleanse my aura, and ground myself before bed. So what I do is I visualize my crown opening, and I ground and my selenite. I open my crown, and then basically I envision a selenite column go all the way, shoot it down to Mother Earth. Okay. And then as I'm doing that, I'm envisioning any cords being cut simultaneously, and they're being grounded and taken into Mother Earth's crystalline grid, which is basically the crystalline lattices where all of the energy of Mother Gaia is sent to. That's basically where her roots and, where she technically begins all the good fun stuff. But so I bring the energy back up, and as I bring it to my root chakra, this is where the cleansing and the purification comes in. So I visualize a tulip, and I'm grounding into that root chakra, and I'm basically grounding in all that wisdom and that energy that I'm releasing in the cords into this crystalline lattice. And then I just envision bringing that energy up to my sacred womb. And then I envision cosmic fire. And then I begin to move my hips, because I'm transmuting and alchemizing, not only imagining it, I'm doing it physically, emotionally, and mentally. So I'm doing it on all planes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just envisioning any energy that's not mine being burned away, bring that energy up to my solar plexus. I reaffirm my sovereignty. I cut any cords attached, basically I reaffirm the cord attached, cutting of the cords in the sacral womb. Then I move to the solar plexus, and then we call back our power. We affirm, cutting any contracts, calling back my power from all times and space, and bringing that energy up to the heart, and calling in the love of your ancestors and my higher self. And then I just bring it up to the heart, and I just bring it back up, and then I shoot the excess, and I just envision like a rainbow going through the top of my crown. And then I hop in the shower, and I just do a double take on rinsing it off, and then just grounding and back in through the water energy. Because as soon as I'm in water, because I'm an earth sign, it immediately regrounds me. And it's just like a beautiful experience. And yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. So what are your guys' techniques? Like what do you guys do when you guys, because this is just something that I've learned to do, just to bring it back through my channels, just to kind of clear the auric field and the spinal channel.
I can tell you just in the physical that I would do a technique. I get salt, any kind of salt, but I make sacred shield salts. So I make different salts, and I put a jar of it, by my shower. And if I don't want to, a lot of times I don't have the time to say all the things I want to say. So I tell my higher, you know what I need. You know what I need to release for my highest good. I trust you to drive this Merkava. I put the salt in my hand, and I'm going to start at my crown, right? And you don't have to intuitively. I don't like to put salt in my hair, so I just dab it right on my shower cap, right? And then I go through my whole body, and it doesn't have to be a lot of salt, just a little, right? Because this is your intention, what you are doing, right? And you go all the way down to the fat pads of your feet, and then you step into the shower because you're in the physical. You're giving yourself a visual. And then you're going to visualize, you can visualize brown or gray energy that doesn't serve your physical and your spiritual bodies anymore, and it went down the drain. It's poof, be gone. It's eliminated. And after I do this, this is also a great pick up my vibration in the physical and with my spiritual bodies. Boy, I'm illuminating for like 3 days. Like if I had a stressful day or at work or whatever with my family, it is a great pick me up. If you're in the shower, if you don't have a shower and you have to do it in the bathtub, same thing. Put those salts on the crown, marinate, soak in the bathtub, right? You don't have to the whole body because you're in water, right? But just know when you let the water out, all that gunk energy, gray, brown, black, whatever you visualize, that low vibration, that stuck anxiety, energy, once it's go down the drain, your vessel is cleansed. It's a great pick me up.
Yes, so I have that as a part of my full moon ritual salt kit. And it actually, what's funny is it goes over that exact process. It's like, um,
I'm
so
not.
thank you, Amanda. What is your?
One of my things to do that I realize that I'm doing sometimes is even like dancing. Sometimes when I'm dancing or in the car, I'll find myself going like this with my hands, or I'll kind of be pulling it off of myself like this, and then
Yeah.
I'll give it up to the great central
I
center.
do that too. That's funny. So I'll sit there in my car and do like, and I'll roll down my window and I'm like, whoosh, and I literally like do a little, like I throw it out the window.
Yes, that's perfect.
Think of it,
Oh, that's beautiful.
I'll be stressed in the car and a song will come on, and when I start going like this, my energy shifts because it's like anything that's on me, I'm now not only in flow, but I'm also kind of taking myself out of it, and now it's all got to go because I'm, so it's a cord cutting thing, I think, when we do this. So that's what I do. I hug trees. I'm a big time tree hugger. Takes bad energy. I'll feel a giggle in my heart maybe within seconds hugging a tree. So I'm a big tree hugger. Put my feet on the ground, love the salt baths and stuff like that. And then sage and Palo Santo is just great for grounding. It's great for changing up the vibration because herbs have such a higher vibration. So, that's why people will sage their feet and sage around. And so I really enjoy using herbs as well. But yeah, that's probably mostly what I'll do. And sometimes I'll just come home and just hug a tree. I'll just hug a tree in the house. Thank you, Mother. Ground the energy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Gratitude is one of the easiest and quickest ways to actually tap into your intuition, into your psychic skills. People don't realize that. That's why they tell you mindfulness practices, meditation, breath work, anything just to kind of get you into the present moment and out of everyone else's energy field. Okay. One last question. So I guess go ahead, Sam.
I was going to say, you have a special treat for us tonight, right? With the food.
Yes. So tonight is the Gemini full moon. And we are going to go over the energy. And then we are going to do a little full moon ritual. Do we want to do a meditation? Yes. So we're just going to kind of go over the astrology just so that we kind of know what energy we're tapping into right now. So first and foremost, with it being a full moon, okay, working with the elements is kind of where I started at. And what it was teaching me is that every month I can plant new seeds and I have an opportunity to release. Okay, this is both men and women. Now, as women, we get a second chance to release through our moon cycle. And they say that once we no longer have that, though, that we've gained all that wisdom. but we still, instead of using the womb space for alchemy, we get to use it for the frequency output. So our womb space actually changes as women, but we still share both energy, so we can get both. But so Gemini full moon, we can think about the last 6 months. So Gemini's new moon was approximately 6 months ago. So what we can think of is what has not served us since May, since the end of May, beginning of, I think that's April, May, till now. And we can think of all the seeds that we planted in mid-spring, close to summertime, and what did not come into fruition. And what we do is we clean up the energy from our intention that we set and the Gemini new moon, and we release the energy in the Gemini full moon so that we can step into the new moon at the next cycle and plant new seeds based on the wisdom we've witnessed over the past 6 months. So that's why working with moon cycles is so important. So today is the full moon. So the moon is in Gemini and it's opposing the sun in Sagittarius. And Sag is the wanderer. He likes, he's like the adventurer, really likes to wander, do his own thing. Gemini is the communicator. So it's like you have the communicator and the one that wants to just go out and adventure. So it's air mutable.
Is it like the talking hippie right now?
Yes. Yeah. So the element in the mold is kind of like between air sign, which is the Gemini, and mutable sign of the Sagittarius. So it's more about mental energy, communication, adaptability, and exchange of ideas. Think about it.
I normally under communicate, and I've been feeling myself over communicating so much lately where I'm like, you just said a lot. But so I've been just like, this is how I feel, and this is all of it, and putting it out there. So
because
that's the Gemini. That's the Gemini.
You're supposed to experience that because you have it.
Well, and hang on. So, and the ruler of this moon, though, is the Mercury, which is the messenger, Amanda. So there you go. There you go. So you see your body's automatically working with the energy. So it's the messenger about the retrograde, what conditions, So Gemini moon usually seeks internal information, details, communication, connection. It asks, what are the facts? What are the immediate thoughts? Who can I talk to? What's buzzing in my local environment? Sagittarius sun, since we're in Sag season, he seeks truth, meaning, wisdom, philosophy. They're the big picture people, right? It's asking us, what is the deeper meaning? What do I believe? Where is my faith? What is the vision of my future? And if you think about it, we are ending 2025 and moving into 2026. So we're basically dealing with the, lack of better words, we're getting ready to go into the season of darkness where things are dying. And before we can have news, before spring comes, we have to go through this hibernation mode and allow things to die to have a better future. So it's, we're thinking about the cosmic check-in between our daily thinking in Gemini and our higher knowing, that Sagittarius aspects. And it's where the why meets the what, the what and the why. And this full moon is highlighting several things. So climax and communication. Secrets come out. Conversations reach a turning point. Long-awaited messages arrive. Maybe sudden clarifying thought or download. Pay attention to what is not being said and what is being said. We just talked about that in our podcast. Number 2, mental overload and the need for discernment. Gemini can scatter. Sagittarius can dogmatize. So the moon can highlight information overload, gossip, anxiety from too many options, or conflicts from different beliefs. And we wonder why Christmas is such a busy season. This energy happens every year. Every year around Christmas. So this is why it's so heightened. And the conflicts between different belief systems. And it's always the call to edit, discern, and choose what information serves your truth.
That's correct.
Yes. Connections and crossroads.
It's also to
Again,
purify those. It's also to purify, right? We can purify miscommunication too, and redirect it, and be a different, and to let it go. That's the important thing, is let it go. Okay, we had some miscommunication, some misunderstanding. Okay. Thank you, Spirit, for showing me. Now I release it so I can go and do what I need to do spiritually.
Yes. And if we align later, then great. If not, great too, because the higher, there's a higher purpose in all of it. It's all about allowing things to come and go, and knowing that's what's for you is meant for you will always come back. And that's the thing about friendships, relationships that are going through hard times, especially around the holiday seasons. Connections and crossroads is where we get into this one. Gemini's roles our immediate network, siblings, neighbors, coworkers, local community. So this full moon brings things ahead. It says, you may see a culmination in relationships that is based primarily on conversation or shared ideas. So that's where our decisions to do short trips, a class, or projects may be required. And now the dance of curiosity and commitment. So Gemini loves to explore possibilities. Sagittarius wants to commit to the path. So the moon is really asking us, where are you intellectually curious, but emotionally or philosophically non-committal? So I'll repeat that. Where are you intellectually curious, but emotionally or philosophically non-committal? It's about aligning your daily chats with our core beliefs, because we're going into the age of Aquarius. Well, we are in the age of Aquarius, but we're getting ready to go into Aries. And a lot of that means that we have to be our authentic self in this new system, because all of the masks no longer are allowed through the gate. It's just plain and simple. So this is us checking our masks, asking us, what do we believe? Is it aligned with where we're going? Do we have any blockages? What's stopping us? And then it's all about nervous energy. Oh, where'd you go?
We kind of got blurred out. Now we came back into the portal.
All right, come on. I don't see you. I hear you.
Who you don't see, Heather?
Hang on. I don't see you. Hang on. There we go. I don't see you in your camera.
Do you see me? Okay, cool.
We can keep going. It's fine. We'll rock it. I'll let you piddle with it. Okay, so nervous energy release. So Gemini rules the nervous system. This can be restless, buzzy energy. And you may feel fidgety, talkative, like you did, Amanda. Have a mind that won't quiet. Physical movement breathing exercises, and brain dumps are all good for this moon. Now, a couple of rituals, talk it out and write it down. Have clarifying conversations. And you can dump in your journal. You do not have to give it to the people that you're writing about. I do a lot of self-writing and never give it to the people, and it allows the energy to move. Connect and communicate. Call a sibling. Have a lively debate with a friend. Teach something someone small. Asking us to make a decision between two options. List the cons and pros. Talk it through and make a decision. And it's just a gentle reminder to move our body, do some yoga, focus on breath, Gemini. And also the Gemini are the twins, so they also control the arms. So if you're having any energy stored in your arms, that is probably some communication energy that is stored and your ability to give and receive love. So just make note of that. And expansive heart openers for Sagittarius. So, and Samantha has a guided meditation for the full moon that we're going to do. I can hear you just fine, Sam, if you want to go ahead.
Can you hear me, Heather?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I thought you were going to do the full moon activation with your light language.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. We got this. Yes.
Because I just love Heather's light language.
Well, that's
beautiful.
Okay, I got you. Okay. Yes. Hang 2 seconds, guys. You guys keep chatting real quick. I'm just going to go grab my singing bowl.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. What a gift. Go ahead, Amanda.
I did not was until I went out. Ohio. It's near. Here. So the man stepped.
Hey, Amanda, I can't, like, you're sounding kind of muffled and I can't hear, you clearly. Maybe you can check your mic.
Can you hear me better?
Yeah, I can hear you a little bit better now.
Okay. Light language.
Hey, Heather, she's sounding muffled and I can't hear her clearly.
Sam, you go out and come back in real quick. I think it's yours.
Come back out, let me get it out. All right.
Okay. All right.
So I was trying to explain to people what. Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Yeah, I hear you just fine.
Explain to people what light language is before you started, because I didn't know until a man came and started to speak to me in light language. He asked me if he could at Serpent Mound, and I said yes. So I listened, and he said, "Can you understand me?" And I said, "No, I didn't know what he was saying." And so he told me, "Listen with your heart." And when he said that, I tried to register it through my heart. All of a sudden, it was like a download. And once I listened with my heart, like he told me to, I understood everything he said, and I understood it like that. And it all just hit me. So that was one thing that he had told me, listen with your heart. And so now I recognize that light language is something that goes to the heart and through it, you know?
Yes. And because the heart is the bridge. So you have the mind, the body, the spirit. So the heart is the bridge. Your gut is your second brain. They don't tell you that. Like your pineal gland, it's your higher brain, but your actual primary brain is in your gut. And then your heart's the bridge, and then you get the divine insight from here. So it does. The heart has a lot of beautiful functions that a lot of people don't talk about. Like it's amazing. So yes, just like Amanda was explaining. So light language it's a language, it's an activation. So what it's going to do is it's going to activate your higher DNA codes, and they're called light activation codes. And sometimes, so I speak different types of light language. Um, so sometimes, and you're going to hear a lot of it. So what we're doing is we're just listening through the heart, allowing basically our psychic mind translate the words and the frequency through the language. And so I'm going to use sound frequency as well, so that during this, so what you're going to receive is DNA activation. And what that's going to do is activate any of the DNA that is ready to be brought online. And it's just going to help stimulate that. So we're going to go ahead and get started. If you would, just go ahead and close your eyes. We're just going to bring ourselves into the present moment, taking deep, long, slow breaths in and out of our nose. They call it the UIG breath. Basically, it's like an oceanic breath through the nose, like. And then we're just going to go ahead and listen to the sound, and then we're going to go ahead and get the DNA started. Shalakotune, senakatune, nagkatune, nakatisikoto, manakatune, senakatione kami. Ano senakatune, nankatune, nakatu, akati, amanaku. Ano senakatune, katu. Ano semanakoto. Thank you for allowing us to energetically feel, learn, and expand our wisdom, which is full moon energy. Bringing all the energies into loving awareness. Shining light on any places that may have dissonance or dis-ease. Releasing this energy, these seeds that no longer serve our highest good. We recognize that seasons change. These seeds were planted in early spring. And they are being harvested as we speak. And we are bringing all the loving communication, all the adventures, and all the play. Bringing all the beautiful things that are going to come with us into the future. But we're releasing all the things that did not serve us. Allowing them to be released through the heart. Releasing the power, any attachments, any cords. Releasing this wisdom and this energy into the root. Extending it into Mother Gaia's crystalline grid. Giving it a proper space, proper acknowledgement, and a proper burial. So the energy may be reutilized through another co-creative source. Something more in alignment with where we're going. As we release, we began to bring up the wisdom. Activating all those light codes with the space that we created through the energetic release. Allow this frequency to go to all the spaces and the auric field and the emotional body and the mental body. Bringing everything back into alignment, bringing new manifestations into focus, allowing everything to release. Shalakoto sin nakatane sin monokoto shukoto manakata sekoto, allowing for a proper burial of this energy and all of the things that have not served us in 2025 on the collective level, personal level, community, and on a home level. Sholokoto sin nakato. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, bringing your awareness back to your third eye, coming back down into your physical body. Bringing yourself back into the present moment and just allowing the energy and this space that we just created, allowing the activation to flow to the places it needs to. All right. So it is. Ooh, those bells. My body is vibrating, by the way. I'm like, so
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yes. Well, thank you. And I don't do a lot of light language, so I'm learning and I'm trying to.
That's
my
great.
guides are reminding me to, because I know what they're saying, so they're teaching me how to speak and reiterate at the same time. So yeah, so I'm trying to.
You are.
I'm working on that.
You are doing it.
I am, yes, but it is. It's a work in progress, and it's something I've been doing. But it is because it's like when your brain's multi-dimensional, it's kind of weird because you're just using a different compartment simultaneously with another one. It's like you have two open drawers.
Beautiful.
I want to
yeah.
Thank you for that light language transmission, and you telling me motivation makes me want to use my light language more when I feel it coming and wanting to. So thank you for activation in that transmission. That was beautiful.
Yes. Thank you. And thank you for showing up tonight, Amanda, and for joining us and stuff.
It's been a pleasure.
I wasn't sure, but for having me.
Yeah, definitely. And just remember that Gemini full moon is the universe's pop quiz. It asks, have you been paying attention? Have you been paying attention 2025? Have you?
Yes, I have. What about you guys?
I have. And I've enjoyed every minute because it's really taught me how to tap into. I repressed the fact that I was angry at people because I was overgiving. It wasn't at them, it was at me. But it allowed me to work with that fire energy and burn off a lot of the excess fire that I had in my soul. And it wasn't necessarily through nice, it was through forced interactions of um alchemy in motion, we'll call it that. But looking back, I wouldn't change any bit of it. Like when I was going through it though in January of last year, I was like, what the heck did I get? I was like, what bus did I get off at? Where am I at? Like, what just happened?
Yeah.
So
That's all relate. Like, what planet are we on?
right, right. Um, and then
Heather,
go ahead.
I told you about having the train almost get me, and then I got off, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got off the track, train hit me. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think if like it's time for us to get on the right track, and it's not ever too late. And I got off the right time, but it's like just listening to our higher calling and listening to ourselves and like getting onto the track that feels right for you is important, you know?
Absolutely.
So.
Yes. Yes, because that goes into what I was going to say. And then it shines a light on all the answers. And then new questions begin to swirl in your mind like, oh, and like Samantha said earlier, you can't, like, once you see, you can't unsee. I mean, you can try, but the universe will only try you. Spirit, source, whatever it is that whatever your verbiage is to meet with your higher self. My higher self is like, I'm gonna be real. If I don't listen, it gets really intense when you resist. So, for anyone that's going through the
wrong way, if there's a lot of resistance.
Well, initially when a lot, let's be real, I resisted my whole awakening, Sam. I was really comfortable with my rose colored glasses on. But I wasn't. I was not, but my ego at that time was like, "Oh, I'm fine." My higher self is like, "No, you're not, Heather. You're
For me, it was like when all my gifts and the veil was lifted, it was at one point I was telling my guys, I was like, okay, y'all can slow it down because I'm trying to understand, I'm remembering the spiritual world and also functioning in this physical world. And right now I have a supervisor that's a narcissist and treating me like an ass at the same time when all my gifts are on. But that's how it goes. It's like
teaching you them boundaries is what it was, because
in this super chaos, are you going to be the phoenix rising or not?
Yeah, and that's true. Right? Because until you embrace the curiosity and use, in this instance, in this moon, the Sagittarius arrow to aim towards your ultimate truth, that's kind of where we're at. We're in truth times. We're not able to wear false masks anymore. And being clear channels and illuminating difficult truths can be hard, but it's also a part of our responsibility of being wisdom keepers and light workers, because continuing the trajectory, but doing it with grace.
Yes.
Because we still have to have compassion, because, and I'm just going to let anyone know, your gifts can be clipped. Your wings can be clipped if you're out of alignment and you do some stuff, or you take it for granted, or you can absolutely have your wings clipped. So be very grateful for your gifts and honor them and respect the boundaries and also the limitations that you're experiencing with them, because you will grow and evolve, but initially there are a lot of difficulties and just in linearity, because you're just trying to process all the wisdom, like you said, at once, Sam. It's like, I remember I had a download and I put my hand over my head and they was like, no, you already got the download. They was like, you just got to integrate. I'm like, oh. So all right, well, lovers,
so Heather,
wishing
when is
you
our next podcast?
Okay, so the next podcast will be 2 weeks. It'll be on Thursday. We are sticking to an every other week
Thursday.
schedule, and that date. Let me get the date right here. Calendar. I think it's the 18th, but I just want to double check. Not calculator, calendar. Yeah, it's the 18th. I was correct. I was going through my photographic memory brain and I'm like, I think it's the 18th. It's the 18th. So our next podcast will be on the 18th
Exciting.
at 8 p.m. And then we are going to be leaving today with Samantha's marketing video. And Samantha, do you have any events coming up this week that you want to make a shout out for the next 2 weeks?
I do.
Because we did not do.
So if this Saturday, December the 6th, at the Sanctuary of Spiritual Healing, 3308 Work Road, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45211, we're having a Divine Healers Market from 10 to 4. And this is if you want to find heartfelt, sentimental, holistic gifts for yourself first and others, this would be a great opportunity. Also, we have the Luminous Wellness on December 13th from same time, 10 to 4. And this is at the Norwood Recreation Center at 2039 Sherman Avenue, Norwood, Ohio, 45212. And then I am teaching at the Sanctuary of Spiritual Healing on December 14th, a workshop to know how to work with abundant spirits and symbols.
Ooh.
So you have that wisdom to create and expand your abundance in all dimensions. I also want to thank Amanda for sharing sacred space with us. What a treat. And Amanda, before we get off, can you, if people are interested in connecting with you, how can they connect with you?
My Instagram, Myomystic Massage, or my Facebook is Amanda Sershin. So yeah, right now I'm interested in just doing medical massage, and I enjoy using sound therapy and using sound bowls personally with people and in groups, but I prefer to use them one-on-one with people. So the best place would be Myomystic under Instagram.
Yes, reach out.
Yes.
She's
Sounds good. Yes. And then for me, I pretty much have for December, I'm kind of taking a step back from some of like my weekly classes I was doing. But I am going to be we'll be at a holistic market from the 15th through the 21st. I might not be there all week. But it's here in Dayton. I'll send more deets about that. But it's a holiday market with Leah Gerhardt. She's one of my girlfriends. So we're gonna I'm super excited about that. And other than that, I am on hiatus for the holidays. Like I am just literally I'm being guided to go into hermit mode and plan for 2026 because as soon as January comes, we're not going to be stopping. So they're like, I need to rest while I can. So that's but January we'll be doing the cold plunges. Wednesday will be sound bath. Thursdays will be katana yoga, and Sundays will be cold plunges. And that will be the schedule for the temple beginning in January. Yes, I'm excited too. But my guys were like, girl, you had so much going on this year. Like you really need to integrate between the move, the job change, just everything that's moved and just really hone in and focus, which is what we're going to do next podcast. We are going to be doing one of Samantha's family traditions. You want to tell us a little bit about our next podcast, about what we're going to be doing on that one, Sam?
So since we're wrapping up the year for 2025, our next podcast is just like Heather said, a family tradition that my grandmother taught me that I love to share, because gifts are meant to be shared. And it is to, before the end of the year of 2025, you write down what you're seeing, your higher self, your higher timeline, what you're manifesting, right? And when you're done, you seal that letter, right? And then you put it in a safe box, a safe somewhere in your house that you don't read for until the end of the next year. And then when it comes to year, you can sit back and you can reflect what you created, what manifested. And that's the fun in it too, because you kind of forget and then you get on your path, right? And then you're like, wow, I did this. Or man, I could have done that a little bit different, but you know. So it's writing basically your future self a letter of what your desire, what your soul desires to create for your future self. But you keep it away in a box for a year. So yeah.
Awesome. And I think that's big because you have people that do the vision boards. It sounds like it's very similar. And the fact that, you know, your family has been doing this for a lot longer than we've probably heard about people doing vision boards. It just reminds us of where it all came into fruition, and that our ancestors knew something about writing
Yes.
it down. So
Writing it down.
It's all that spelling magic, all that beautiful. Write it down. I always, which makes sense because when I was younger, I wouldn't remember it until I wrote it down. Like I would physically have to write it.
Write everything. I even though you tell me, I need to write it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense because you're scribing it and you're just making that note. Awesome. All right, well, ladies, go ahead.
Yeah.
I feel like the more intentional we are with our words, I feel like they do become more powerful.
They
Being
are
more intentional with them become magic and more powerful. So yeah.
Yes. And I'm a firm believer. One of our podcasts, we're going to discuss our human designs, whether we're a generator, a manifester, because I think that is key too. Because if you're not following your design, like let's say that you're a manifester and your spell work is just horrible and you're constantly speaking things into existence unconsciously, like my sister, I had to remind her, like, hey, you're a manifester. I was like, anything that you speak, manifest instantly. I was like, you have to be really careful about your word magic, because for me, I'm a generator. So as long as I'm happy and I'm generating light, I'm following my design. So, and you know, like lack of better words, it may take me a little bit longer to manifest because I don't have that. I have immediate manifestation skills because I'm a life path 8, but normally most people don't.
I'm about
you
to
know,
say you
it's
manifest
generator. I do. It's because of my life path 8, but but if you're just a generator, your manifestations take a little bit longer because you have to be happy and have that consistent alignment with that frequency. And then you manifest it. And manifester can just say, I want it. They see it, and then it's boom. Like my daughter was like, I'm hungry, and then this guy gives her a banana. I mean, stuff like that. It's like instant. Know your design. That's what, and I have to remind her too. I'm like, girl, you a little crabby. You got to watch it, because the more energy you put out like that, the more it's going to be reflected back to you to get you to recognize, hey, don't do that. So,
all right.
All right, loves. Well, we're gonna see everyone next week. Thank you so much
Yes.
for sharing space with us, and you guys have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, sisters. I love you.
Love you
Night.
too. Bye.
Night, everybody.
Good night.
It's just like this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Give you